Bitcoin is still continuing to climb higher, where you can see that we are currently in all-time highs as far as the weekly chart goes. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about Bitcoin on several different time frames. I'll be taking a look at basic market structure, some of the indicators are saying, taking a look for Fibonacci levels and that sort of thing. Yeah, today things are going to be a little bit different rather than, I mean, I'm still going to zoom right in, starting at the longer time frames, zooming right in all the way down to like the 5 minute, maybe even the 1 minute. But rather than looking for those scalp setups today, going to be taking a look at the degen side of things on a different side. We're going to be taking a look at microcap coins, because that group chat in the Discord has been just popping off lately with this whole meme craze. So that's going to be our degen side of today's session. And yeah, so basically looking at Bitcoin on the weekly chart here, I mean, things just keep looking better and better. As it stands right now, yeah, we have to see how the weekly candle closes, which is in almost exactly 3 days from now. 3 days and 1 hour. But as it stands right now, we are still above all-time highs. I mean, yes, we could get some kind of a swing fail here, just a failed break. Maybe this is just going to be some kind of a liquidity grab until we test down a little bit lower. But as it stands right now, it just doesn't look all too bad yet. Even if we do see some sort of a correction, I mean, just the way Bitcoin has built structure on the way up here, you can just see that, we had this high, we had a higher high, that brings up our higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and now we're obviously in higher high territory. So right now, the way I'm looking at the chart, let me just erase some of these lines here. Basically, I'm looking at this as our higher low of the trend as far as the weekly chart goes. And that would be right above that 48K resistance level, flipping that into support as well. So there's, a decent bit of confluence there. You could see even, back here as well as more recently, we have seen the price respecting that level. So that's kind of where I'd be looking if we do see a pullback, to end up hopefully finding some support at that time. If we come down lower, then obviously, yeah, we might test some lower levels as well. But the beautiful thing is that Bitcoin on this run here, it feels like it's been parabolic, but we do have these little pauses in the charts where we do at least form some sort of structure levels, right? So no matter how you look at it, I mean, it just seems quite obvious at this point. I was basically saying for quite a while, as soon as we close weekly candle bodies above this weekly 618, that I think it's full bull market on. And we got that back here. I mean, at first I was expecting a rejection here. Yeah, we got one for about a month or so. But after that, when we got that candle body close above that 618, that's just been my buy signal. I shouldn't say buy signal. I've obviously been buying since the lows back here. But as far as just like full on parabolic dumb money, you can just throw money wherever you want and you're probably going to do okay. Not financial advice. But just looking back in history through Bitcoin cycles, whenever we get that weekly close above that 618 on any sort of big weekly time frame, you can see it's just been parabolic move to the upside, and this has just happened time and time again. So obviously things can be different just because it's happened every other big macro structure range. Since it's happened in all those doesn't mean it has to happen again, but typically speaking, we're playing our probabilities and it tends to happen more often than not, obviously. So this is just basically my signal that, yes, I absolutely think this is going to be an explosive year for crypto as a whole. And that's Bitcoin, that's altcoins, that's total shitter coins. It's all of it. It's just, it's basically going to get to the point where you're going to see anybody with a pulse able to make money in this market. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited to do it with all you guys. Obviously, the chart can change. I mean, if we start taking out these important structure levels, then yeah, we have to kind of see what happens from there before we can break some sort of a mini downtrend. But as it stands right now, we just keep staircasing and climbing higher. So I think on the weekly chart, Bitcoin's in an absolutely phenomenal position. Looking at the daily chart, I had this old resistance line as far as this little channel that we were kind of in. We broke above that. I mean, we have our W's. These are all the reversal warnings on the trend dynamic indicator. You guys know I talk about this pretty much every stream. I love using these as confluence, just looking which way these W's are trending, because it just really helps draw your eye to it, because it's so easy to misanalyze market structure or just have a hard time zooming out and noticing which way the trend actually is. And these W's, I find, can just be so helpful in spotting when things are going to take a bit of a reversal, right? I mean, right here would basically be where all of a sudden we set that higher high W, and look, it was just basically continued trending higher from there. Turn on the trend collection, and you know, we have the corresponding buy signal with that. I mean, anytime you would have bought along this buy signal with the trending upwards W's, that's one of my favorite strategies when using these indicators. I just like seeing them work together like that. And I mean, obviously your risk management is quite tight. I don't always like, there's this blue dotted line, which is technically, I think, supposed to be the stop loss. I leave wiggle room. I kind of like to go back to my last structure point. So maybe something like that if I was to be longing on this bounce here or whatever. But that's just kind of how I like to use the indicators, and like to help them, or use them for just as confluence when spotting a trend. Just deciding which way I should be trading the market, because it's so easy to find yourself in a cycle of getting tongue-tied here. Revenge trading, and just trying desperately to catch a reversal. But you guys, a reversal only comes once, whereas a trend continues until it doesn't. So generally speaking, I like to try and play the trend, and these indicators are kind of, I like to use them for finding that confluence. And like I said, we just have these W's: higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher high. And when you get that trend, and I mean, you see a higher low come in, I mean, you have a nice tight stop loss basically if you were looking to play this bounce. And you know, interestingly enough, we did lose this trend and then instantly got that higher low reversal and just sent right back up above. And again, you could have just been buying along that trend the whole time. Absolutely beautiful. And that's on the daily chart, so I love to see that. I think there's a lot of strength behind this trend right now. And I mean, it's been made very obvious just by the percentage gains that we're seeing. Let's jump down now to a 4 hour. I just like to start on the weekly and work my way down. You know, this is a beautiful sign that I like to see right now, just judging by the 4 hour here. First of all, I want to talk about this indicator down here. We still have this nice green money flow indicator going on here. So that's just showing that there is still, you know, most of the trading volume is on the bullish side. There's a lot of buying pressure going on as well. Once again, we have these W's just obviously trending to the upside, higher high, higher high, higher highs. Now the fact that it looks like we're trying to print a higher low. Now this is not set in stone until this candle closes, but it looks like it's going to push us back up above that buy signal trend as well. Once again, just demonstrating how much strength there is there. And yes, I mean, not everything has to keep happening. Eventually a trend is going to break. But when you look at this trend so far, ever since having that buy signal and the higher trending W's, anytime we've come down to this trend, it's been absolutely beautiful buy signals. So yeah, that's one of my favorite ways of using these indicators. Mixing that with Fibonacci levels if you can, I mean, even better. But yeah, that 4 hour is just looking juicy on these indicators to me. That's a beautiful trend. And that 4 hour candle will close in, well, under 40 minutes by the end of this stream, basically. So yeah, that might be an interesting buy signal right there. Let's zoom in a little bit further. This is something I was eyeing up on the 5 minute. Once again, we have a buy signal down here, and we have these W's trending to the upside. So, you know, one thing that I don't like is this buy signal is lower than this buy signal. So that's another thing to consider, right? these buy signals are trending to the downside. I was avoiding trying to long this market. I've been quite vocal about the fact I'm not really interested in shorting this market right now, but I was not longing this market today with Bitcoin anyways, just playing shitters, obviously. But these W's were just trending to the downside, and I had no interest of trying to catch a knife or catch a falling knife, as they say, while those are just demonstrating a very obvious downtrend with those signals. So now that there's a buy signal and they're starting to try and trend to the upside, I'd be more open to the idea of trying to catch some sort of a long now. Yeah, how's everyone else feeling about Bitcoin anyways? Like longer term, mid-term, short term? Is anyone in any aggressive long positions? Or do you think this market's going to take an absolute nuking right away? Anyone short right now? I personally am not brave enough to short this market, and I may very well feel that way for the most of this year, to be honest. This just reminds me so much of how I felt about the market back here. And I just longed the shit out of this market for basically a full year after getting that signal, and I didn't regret it. Anytime I took a short, I pretty much regretted it. And that's basically how I'm looking at the market cycle right now. There's absolutely, you guys, I want to be very clear about this. There will be plenty of 30 to 40% corrections in this market cycle. That does not mean the market cycle's over. I mean, yes, there's absolutely a possibility I'm going to end up scalping some shorts the odd time, but I have no interest of really trying to catch a big short. My short positions are going to be smaller. They're going to be TP'd a lot quicker. I'm going to be more picky about which type of Stuber fib setup I use, because I have a continuation setup as well as a reversal setup. So I just look at those things a little bit different. But yeah, basically I am quite bullish on the macro picture for Bitcoin here, and I basically feel that way about the entire market. So just not interested in playing the short side of things. Shorted ETH a bit today to offset and FTM for fun. Well, I hope you made some money. I mean, that's the thing. There is still nice downside volatility, guys. I do want to be clear about that. Even from this signal, and again, once the W's started trending to the downside, anytime you'd be trying to short along here, let's just say from there, with a little bit of leverage, a 6% dump from there, that's absolutely some serious volatility right there. That is absolutely nice grounds to be shorting. I'm just not comfortable doing it right now. So if you did catch it and you're playing it, that's awesome, because like I said, there is absolutely profits to be made both directions. We can play these markets the exact opposite direction, and we can both come out winners as long as we do it right. So we could also come out losers. But yeah, that's basically my take on it. I am just too bullish on the macro term that I know I will play with a bullish bias better than I would play with a bearish bias right now. So that's basically my theory there. Thump short from 73,858. Nice. That is are you at 181x if I'm not mistaken? You like to use that? 73.8. Oh. So you caught the very top of that wick. Unless a different exchange might add slightly different prices. But 30x. Yeah, honestly, dude, I haven't been using the same, like the 69x leverage. You guys know I love playing. I have not been doing that recently. I've been more on the 25x leverage just because the markets are so volatile. A very small move, I mean, a 5-minute candle can easily move $1,000 these days. So, I mean, it gets dangerous pretty quick when you're using high leverage. So, yeah, I've also toned down the leverage numbers there. So that's a good idea. And that also depends what time frame you're playing, right? I mean, if you're playing a 1 minute, you can use a little higher leverage, whereas a 5-minute, using a little less leverage, using something like an hour or a 4-hour swing trade, obviously you're using even lower leverage yet, maybe 3x or 5x, something like that. But all personal preference there. Oh, did it go straight to zero? Oh yeah, pretty much. Well, we'll see what happens, but that looks like a good old, very quick rug pull or something. I don't know. Hey, technically, I'm still up. But yeah, any of these guys talking about the degen side of things. Actually, if nobody has any questions on Bitcoin, I'm actually going to jump into the degen side of this stream and start looking at the random shit coins here. Also, feel free to leave messages in the chat, and I can always go back and check things out as well. You know my opinion here. As long as these W's are trending to the upside with this buy signal, I do like what I see with Bitcoin there. Nice tight invalidation. Basically, I'd probably say somewhere below this structure just because we have this high, kind of a higher high. Look at this as a higher low type of thing. But yeah, if we can hold that trend, it doesn't look so bad there. I did not rug you, Smallio. You rugged me while I'm doing this. Missed my opportunity. Speaking of that, who's all loaded up on Silly Goose? I know that's been a popular one lately. Tried a small long on Bitcoin, but entered a bit early. Yeah, and that's where using these indicators, that's where I found, like, there was a couple times where I thought, hey, you know, I think I see a double bottom forming, whatever, some kind of a swing fail here. That's the kind of thing that, yeah, you know, I would love to enter on something like that, but the W's were trending to the downside, and I just didn't want to fight that trend, basically, that as well as the sell signal there. How I use the indicators for Confluence, how they're tweaked. I guess that would just be what I just went over, just looking at which way signals are trending. I can bring up my settings here. I actually don't use too much. This would be the trend dynamic indicator. That's the one that makes the candle colors all beautiful. The only thing I really use is the reversal warnings. That's just, I don't want all the signals on because I'm going to use them the exact same anyways. And I just don't want to clutter my screen that much because as it is, a lot of these end up showing up. But yeah, that's basically all I use with that indicator. And then with the trend collection indicator, I actually have it on scalp mode and I just clicked enable. So it basically automatically just chooses whatever settings it thinks it should have on this time frame. So that's just the auto settings. And yeah, so then whether it is, you know, the buy and sell signals, the reversal warning W signals, you know, if I had the TP signals up or the trend exhaustion signals up, I would kind of treat them the same, is that I like to see which way they are trending, right? So it's not that I'm going to take every single buy and every single sell signal, but if they're trending in a direction, it just helps me pick which way I should be trading the market, basically. So right now, and that's where I said, since these W's are starting to shift directions because they were going lower here, now we're starting to see some higher high W's come into play with the buy signal. Yes, this buy signal is a little lower, but you know, we do have this trend confluence with the upward trending W's. So just a couple early warning signs that things might be reversing here. And now is where I'm more comfortable with the idea of starting to play some longs again. Whether I'm looking for Fibonacci's, let's just say, since this is our higher low, you know, looking at, you know, even whether I wanted to play, try and snipe off this buy trend or playing some Fibonacci's from down here with invalidation down here. Yeah, it just basically opens me up to the idea of now being willing to play some long positions. Because like I said, for the rest of the day, I really wasn't. Oh, what are all your indicator setups? I guess I went over that already. Hopefully you caught that. If not, this will be uploaded to the Academy as well, but I can go over that again if you need. did you guys get my indicator setups there? Like I said, trend dynamic. Okay, perfect. Good to hear. Have I tried the new indicator yet? The asset flow index? No, but I really have been meaning to. I'm actually behind. There's a few of the new indicators that I want to check out that I haven't yet. I want to go into the dashboard and watch the videos about them too, just to make sure I'm understanding them correctly. But some of them look absolutely beautiful, and I think are going to provide a lot more confluence as well when looking at things. I just have my few things that I have looked at and just things that I'm comfortable with. I just haven't had the time to, I guess, go in depth and unwrap some of those Christmas presents, I'll call them. But yeah, definitely. Actually, you know what? In the next few days, I might try and check out some of those. Cause has a farmyard of coins. Good. Absolutely great. Now, are you saying a bunch of animal coins? Speaking of that, I guess let's hop over to some of these degen coins. Peng, I mean, this one's been absolutely ripping. I think I bought it around 19 cents, 20 cents. I think I saw Smallio, you were talking about it before it even launched, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, basically that one was on my radar, played out beautifully. I don't have very many of them left. I think I have a third of my coins left. But yeah, it's at a 8x or almost a 9x. So yeah, Peng went absolutely nuts there. So, but yeah, I don't want to hold anything forever, right? Especially in the meme coin world. I want to make sure that I am taking profits. So, you know, yeah, I'm going to let a third of it run for now just to see what happens, because maybe it keeps running, but I absolutely made sure to pay myself some. So, that's the 1 hour chart, still holding beautiful structure. I mean, it could actually use a healthy correction, and it could take quite a dump. In my opinion, a 50% correction would not be all that crazy, just because looking at basic market structure on the 1 hour chart, I mean, you can see we were just setting series of higher highs, higher high. Here would be higher high. This would be our current high. So what's the lowest point between our high and our higher high? That's way down here. So I'm kind of looking, as far as a confirmed higher low, I'm looking at support all the way down here. That would be totally healthy in my opinion. I mean, yeah, it would feel scary at the time and whatnot. But yeah, there is some structure there. So that would be a nice pullback to catch actually. If we end up setting another higher high, let's just say we end up breaking above this level and coming back down, then we have a higher high, and then we have a new confirmed higher low, right? And that's where I'd be more so looking at this as holding support. I think it's too early to say this. Like, yes, it is absolutely possible that, you know, maybe we are just in a range like this. I just don't want to just consider this a higher low until we've actually confirmed a higher high on this trend. As it stands right now, I'm still considering this more so the higher low. How much does structure actually matter on these degen coins? I mean, honestly, they hold structure very well. You know, after we set here. Basically, that was our high. As soon as we got higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. I mean, it's staircased beautifully. I can't even deny that. Even these shit coins just hold that basic market structure so well. Next one I wanted to look at was Simba. I saw a lot of people, I think it was last night, talking about Simba, and I ended up buying in at around 0.3 cents. I think I ended up getting, I think I took a third of it out around 0.9. It was about a 3x, so I took a third out, basically my original investment, and just seeing what happens with the rest. See if it goes nuts or not. It's about a $6 million market cap right now. That's the thing, like Peng actually ended up, the market cap is all the way up to 170 million on Peng. That thing has gone absolutely nuts. It really made a name for itself very quickly there. But yeah, then you get to some of these other shitties like $6 million market cap. I mean, anything can happen with these things, guys. They are super high risk, but honestly, so is trading with leverage, right? So pick your poison. They both have pros and cons. But as it stands right now, I mean, again, let's just look at basic market structure here on Simba. Nice low market cap. You know, we ended up breaking past this high here. So we have our high, we have our higher high. This would be our confirmed higher low. So I'm basically looking at support down here on the 1 hour. Could pull a Fibonacci, just looking for some of those pullback levels. Actually, I am going to erase that support box just because I don't like the DEX Tools charts as much as I like the TradingView charts. But yeah, basically, I would not be too surprised to see some kind of a pullback down into these Fibonacci levels that I love so much, the 786, 886, or a full retrace. But as it stands, yeah, we have that confirmed market structure that it should, in theory, as long as the trend's going to continue, there is that bullish break. So as long as this holds as support, I mean, these things are so early though, like, I mean, it's funny because, you know, the confirmed support is basically all-time lows, right? So, I mean, basically, take it for what it is. These things are risky as hell, but you know what? High risk, high reward. The one that we were looking at just at the start of the stream, oh yeah, that's not looking so good. I had a quick, you know, 5 or 6x on it. Obviously never took any profits yet. Still up a little bit on this, but this thing, like, this is as degen as it gets, you guys. When I bought this thing, there was a $5,000 market cap, 5,100 to be exact, and now it's got a $7,600 market cap. So I mean, obviously it takes nothing to move something like this. This is kind of one of those things that, hey, you know, realistically, if it hits $1 million market cap like some of the other trash out there, then yeah, absolutely, it's the kind of thing that you can get 1,000x out of. But are you gonna actually expect that? No, it's a lottery ticket, you guys. This is as degenerate as it comes. You guys know I love being a degen with my high leverage on a shorter time frame. This is the penny stocks of the crypto world, of the degens in general. Like, this is just, it doesn't get any any lower, but I love it and I'd have it no other way. Honey was one that was requested. Let's just duplicate this here. Were you looking at Honey? Oh, on USD? USDC, I assume this is the one you're talking about. You bought at 0.01 and it's at 0.18. Is that the right one? Or did you mean? This is a 4-hour chart. This one actually has some, oh, it has some crazy chart history. Yeah, is this the right Honey I'm looking at? Oh, on Bird's Eye. I've actually never used Bird's Eye. Is it just birdseye.io, or what is the website for that? I can take a look there. I've never actually checked that website yet. Birdeye.so. Birdeye.so. Here we go. Honey. I assume we're just looking at the first one here. Second down. Less than 24 hours ago. Is this the right one? You must have meant point, or yeah, 0.01. You bought it way down here. Okay, so you're up like 70% or so then. Here, let's hop over to a 5-minute. We can't be looking at these things on 15 minutes. What are we thinking? Ooh, I like that. Nice little double bottom here. I mean, obviously, just like any of these things, extremely high risk. But what kind of, what are we looking at? Where's the market cap on these things? I'll just struggle at using a new thing. New exchanges terrify me. I've only really used Jupiter for the Jupiter and X tools is basically what I've been using so far. But yeah, I think tonight I'm going to make myself more familiar with this bird eye. But yeah, that's interesting. A perfect double bottom there. Hopefully it ends up holding. No idea. I assume these are just a bunch of memers that do absolutely nothing. Just a funny name and a cute little picture there, and that will determine its value. Take a look. I'll come back to this. I just want to take a look. Bad USDT. What exchange would that be on? Oh, that you're probably talking this, Simon? On MEXC? Or BitGet? I assume it's the... Oh, that's quite the wick. If you ended up catching that, you doubled your money already. Is this the one you're talking about, Simon? Yeah, I'm on the 4 hour. Is this the one you're thinking? Got this big wick right here. Yeah, that's wild. I have no idea what the trading volume is on something like this. Just looking at the indicators, I mean, technically it is still holding the 4 hour buy trend, which I like to see. And as well, again, using these W's, they're trending to the upside. As far as a spot position, I mean, that doesn't look so bad to me. As far as the indicators go, I mean, yeah, obviously there's the chance that we end up filling this wick. We all know that crypto assets love to end up filling the wick that they leave. It's almost like foreshadowing, just, hey, this is where the market's heading. So don't be too surprised if that happens. But I mean, as it stands right now, the indicators are looking bullish to me. I know nothing about what it does or anything other than being AI. What's the daily looking like? Yeah, like massive daily candle yesterday. And then basically testing the entire thing today and right back down to that daily trend. You know, there's not even a buy signal here yet. But there's just not a ton of history here. But this is one of those times, you know, we saw the W's were trending to the downside. And now all of a sudden they're showing signs of reversal, right? Like this would have actually been a beautiful buy signal here where we get a higher trending W, come back down and test the pink line because the pink means buy, blue means sell. So yeah, coming back down again. Anytime you have the W's trending in a direction, coming back and testing that line. So far, those have been beautiful entries. I find, especially with spot positions, I think that's such a powerful strategy using these indicators. Honestly. FDMC. Yeah, the self-proclaimed market cap, basically. So yeah, on Honey, yeah, not even 500,000. Obviously, still a very small market cap. Looks like it's trying to bottom here, trying to form that double bottom. Big price history on a chart like this. That 5-minute chart. A lot of history there. So this literally just launched like an hour or two. Oh, this market is way too funny. It's just ridiculous. We're all just gambling money on funny, cute names or funny, vulgar names. Just funny names and pictures. who needs who needs to have a proper portfolio when you can just play with this trash? Again, not financial advice. Yeah, Peng's struggling a little bit with resistance now, but like I said, I mean, it just keeps staircasing higher. I think this is one of those coins that has made a name for itself, and the fact that it's also on some bigger exchanges now. I think I heard that it was listed on MEXC as well as BitGet. It might even be on some others now. I'm not sure, to be honest, but yeah, that one's becoming more mainstream very quickly, whereas some of these lower cap ones are going to see crazy volatility. Me and a buddy were literally talking about that today. How funny it'll be when the accountant sees all the coins. uh, Way too funny. Yeah, try and explain that one. Try and sound professional explaining that one. Hey Stu, I see here you made or lost money on what is that? Too funny. Yeah, I don't have a ton else that I needed to talk about today. Hopefully, what I talked about with the indicators, how I use them as confluence and stuff like that, was helpful. I would actually like to see how this 4-hour candle closes here before I end the stream. So we'll hang out for another 9 or 10 minutes here, 10 or so. Yeah, any other micro caps that you guys want me to check out? Take a look at. I mean, so many of them, it's kind of hard to analyze them because there's really no price history. But basically just looking for some flat bottoms, maybe some Fibonacci retracements, and just silly names, basically low market cap, decent trading volume. Pool. Old Jerome. I did buy a little bag of this on this retrace. Yeah, I mean, it's trying to recover. It had a nice, it had a fairly quick pullback. What did that percentage wise? How far did that go? God, just a quick 70% dump there. Oh, these are ridiculous. But yeah, as far as like a significant market low, like, I mean, technically we had this high, very slightly higher high, higher high. So yeah, technically we may have lost that higher low structure. But if we're looking at a more serious level, I'd be more so looking at this as more of a range. and this. So we're looking at our higher low kind of down here. So we are still technically holding that trend. And I mean, let's face it, the stupid political figures and the elites and all of them, like their names just seem to be some of those things that are going nuts. So what is the market cap is apparently 1.8, 1.9 million. So still nice and low. So yeah, this can absolutely take off again here. OP, that's more of a normal coin, right? Looking at the daily chart on OP, once again, we have that buy signal with a beautiful trend holding so far. Oh, that's totally fine. It's totally fine to throw in some proper proper coins as well. But yeah, so far that's not looking so bad. We do have technically this lower high W, but that's two different indicators. The cross one is actually the trend collection, and the round one is the trend dynamic indicators. It's more so the trend dynamic, the round ones, that I take serious when looking for the trend. And those ones are still technically trending to the upside here, and we're trying to find support along the buy signal there. So daily chart doesn't look so bad. As well, if I just go down to a naked chart, we could look, basically we had resistance. I mean, basically this whole area was kind of resistance, and now we're trying to flip it into support. Even if we end up dropping that level, we've just confirmed a new higher low, right? I mean, yes, it could be a significant pullback because this is a daily chart, so we could drop all the way down here. Or if the market's excited, obviously, I think we would front run it with some different Fibonacci levels and that sort of thing. Probably a 786, you'd get some kind of a reaction. But we're going to have to see what happens. I would love to see, since it is a daily time frame, I would really like to see this old resistance just kind of flip into support and carry on from there. And then this is where, if we end up breaking above this high and setting, you know, another higher high, that's where we can take wherever the low between the two. So if it was right here, just theoretically speaking, then we can bump that higher low structure up a little bit, right? So that's something to watch for as well. Liquidations, a lot of liquidations below us. So, I mean, there's that to watch for. Maybe we get some sort of a crazy liquidity grab. But I just think the market cycle is just in such a place that I really am not personally expecting any sort of crazy sell-off nuke or anything. Like I said, I think there's going to be plenty of 30-40% corrections on this market cycle moving forward. But to see just crazy pullbacks and lose entire massive gains like that, I'm not so sure if we're going to see that. Yeah, if we take a little bit of a nuke, I'm thinking we would end up finding support somewhere around this green box, or even just wick slightly below and reclaim it. I think that would be totally healthy, but I'm not even sure we're going to get that. Zebu. Let's check out some Zebu. I assume I can just use the first one here. Most volume, it looks like. Check out the 5-minute chart. The market cap just over 3 million, so still nice and low. Let's take a look at the 1-hour chart. I mean, yeah, to me, it does look like we have some sort of a rounding bottom here. Technically, let's just go, you know, we had this low back here. We set a lower low. And then from here, we actually set another lower low. We ended up breaking that. So, I mean, now it's looking like this trend wants to reverse to me. Obviously, anything can happen. If we lose this support, then we're obviously looking at a much bigger correction. But yeah, as it stands, that doesn't look so bad to me. Kind of looks like we're finding support on this old resistance back here, to be honest. Let's just take this entire resistance, basically. Yeah, and that's basically where we're trying to find support right now. So that's beautiful, in my opinion. What's the trading volume? Trading volume over 1 million in 24 hours. That's pretty good trading volume for something that's only a $3 million market cap. And that's one thing to watch for, guys, is you know, when you're seeing a lot of trading volume comparatively to the market cap of a coin. I mean, that's what you love to see. You love to see that volume just to bring in that volatility. Tesla. Oh, a Tesla meme. I should have known. Why wouldn't there be one? Fantastic. I should probably buy some. Oh, pretty new. Okay, well, I gotta zoom in past the 1 hour because I'm not seeing much here. Take a look at the 5-minute. You know, not looking so bad right now. Let's see what kind of trend lines we can find first. You know, we could pull down a little more and get another touch point of this blue line here. Something else that I actually like to see here is after we set this high here, we technically had this little pullback and we're setting higher highs. Right here, we're basically technically we dropped it very slightly. It's a little bit messy because there is a wick before the candle's closing, but basically trying to find support right at where we had support back here already. So I mean, yeah, I would love to see it end up picking up some momentum here again. What kind of a market cap we're looking at? Oh, that's actually fairly high already. That's almost a $10 million market cap. Still so small. Still so small. Grabbed along on a 4-hour alert. Thanks, Stu on Zebu. No problem. Oh, the 4-hour did close, hey? Oh, look at that. The 5 minutes trying to find support along that buy trend again. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. We did get that confirmed higher W. Oh, man. The previous one is so far away. The thing is, guys, this isn't necessarily an exact bottom, but I really do like what I see, the fact that it pushed us back above this trend. I think that's beautiful. And again, yeah, just all the W's are still trending to the upside. And this is back to Bitcoin, by the way, guys. Bitcoin's 4-hour chart. I really like that 4-hour close, to be honest. For one, we filled the majority of this little wick back here, and as well getting that higher W signal pushing us above that daily trend, or that 4-hour trend rather. Let's see what the daily's looking like. Daily looks a little messier. Daily looks like it could pull back a little bit, so just proceed with caution, you guys. I mean, the thing is, right now we are still toying with all-time highs, right? I really wouldn't be too surprised to see us struggle around these levels for a few weeks, a month even. I know that's what happened last market cycle. I remember it happening very clearly, that we basically struggled right around all-time highs for about 4 or 5 weeks there. I don't think the market's in a bad place. Just be cautious that maybe it's not going to take off as fast as we expect. But it absolutely could. I mean, we're still in a good position. That 4-hour looked beautiful. That could carry on the trend higher, absolutely. We get a weekly close above all-time highs, then I mean, yeah, like I was talking about earlier, we might see some sort of a quick correction, but I think it'll be short-lived, and I think it's going to be full parabola on if we do see a correction in the coming weeks. I think one more fuel up would make sense. I think it would be short-lived if we got it, retest some of these fibs, some of these old structure levels, and just absolutely blast off from there. I could absolutely see that being a thing. Still are really big on the weekly chart here, guys. We got this big green money flow cloud. And I've showed in previous streams basically how that looks in the past here. I'm just going to clean things up a little bit, remove some drawings. Just look at every time we've got these crosses basically, right? Whenever we crossed green on that money flow. Down here we got one. Here we got a red one. Obviously a beautiful sell signal. Way down here we ended up getting a green money flow signal. You can just see that on the weekly time frame, this is such a powerful indicator, and this is actually why I was calling the bottom down here. A lot of you guys will probably remember that a lot of people sitting in on my streams at these levels thought I was crazy that I was talking about that $48,000 target. That was back in the end of 2022. And that was one of my biggest signals. And I know I made a video very specifically about that signal when the green money flow candle closed, basically. That's where I got very bullish on the market. I think that signal says a lot. And we just have a nice, big, beautiful green one right now. We're getting into kind of that overbought territory, but I mean, you can see divergences play out for a long time, and at the end of the day, money talks, and we still have that green. Doing a long-term ETH long with 10x leverage on BitMEX. Oh man, I haven't used BitMEX in years. They still always get server overload. I swear I have PTSD from that. Yeah, so you're basically having an active low leverage position on your Ethereum is kind of what it sounds like. Are we supposed to call it N-word, Chad? I don't know what we're supposed to call it, to be honest. But it's not exciting anymore. Boo! Go back up. Yeah, I don't know what'll happen with that. That's funny. Yeah, anyways, guys. Oh, yeah. So far holding that. Looking good, looking good. Yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to talk to you guys about. So yeah, anyways, my friends, obviously today more than ever, none of this has been financial advice. Always do your own research, form your own opinions. But if you did appreciate this video, and just being a part of this live stream, it would do me a huge favor if, actually YouTube's been giving me trouble lately, but if I can end up getting this video shared to my YouTube channel, it would do me a huge favor if you went there and liked the video. It's usually uploaded in a couple of hours after ending these streams. But yeah, if any of you guys are watching this on my YouTube channel a little later, if you're interested in some of my favorite indicators that I was just talking about, plus access to the VIP Discord with live streams such as these put on by not only myself, but also a handful of other very knowledgeable traders in the group, as well as if you're looking for a no KYC exchange to get your DGen on with, I have a couple links in the description down below for discounts and so on. With that, I'm out. Stay safe, my friends. Peace.